Hey YouTube, what's going on with you? It's Dirk here at GC Blues. As promised, I will do this. I'm doing this video to get you caught up on games, especially how I did on February 7th. So we're going to be caught up from February 7th to now, and we're even going to get into tonight's game. So without further ado, but I also want to welcome the new people, folks. I'm up to 95 people. Folks, if you want to help promote my channel, please tell people about it. Tell them, hey, there's this great channel on YouTube. His name is GC Blues at GC Rams 2. He does a great job. He's working on his channel. He's trying to find an audience and stuff. He does an NHL report time to time. He has his own personal vlog. Check him out. You will like him. He goes by GC Blues. Have people check me out and have them subscribe too, because it'd be great for me to get some more subscribers. My goal, basically my goal, I want to try to get to 200 by the end of the year. So let's get right into it. Remember, if you happen to come across this video and you happen to like it, give me that thumbs up, dude. It's very important. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the bell icon when you subscribe. You can be notified every time I upload a new video, or you can personalize it to every time I upload an NHL report or a personal vlog, which is called DTV, or if I favorite a video, you will know about it. Okay. Also, folks, check out my playlist I have here on my channel. I got a playlist of your favorite TV shows and music videos, and I do have an NHL one, which I probably might get rid of, and I'll just rework it. I don't know yet. But I even got one of another series I do called At the Movies. There will be one of that coming up soon, so check it out. So let's get right into it. February 7th, folks, we had the 6 games on the dock. I did pretty good on it, I have to say. But how well did I do? Well, let's start off with Colorado at Pittsburgh. Entering this matchup, the Avalanche were 27-18 and 3 and 57 points. Pittsburgh was 24-16 and 9 and also 57 points. This game had to go to extra period, folks, and Pittsburgh wins by a score of 2-1. Yeah. Shots on goal, the Pens 38, the Avs 42. Pens have 41 saves, the Avs 36. Pittsburgh was 0 for 1 on the power play, with Colorado 0 for 4 on the power play. Well, Colorado picked up an important point, but Pittsburgh picked up 2 up, so they did great. Can I go 2 for 2? Let's find out. San Jose at Tampa. Entering the matchup, San Jose was 15-25 and 11 and 41 points. Tampa Bay was 32-16 and 1 and 65 points. This game had to go to overtime, and the final score was San Jose 4, Tampa Bay 3. Can't win them all. Shots on goal were 22 for the Sharks, 37 for the Lightning. Sharks had 34 saves with the Lightning 18. San Jose went 2 for 3 on the power play with Tampa Bay 1 for 6. Well, Tampa Bay picks up their 66 point, but San Jose got their point of 2, so there you go. Now 1-0-1. Come on, let's do this. Come on, let's change this. Next was Edmonton at Detroit. Entering the matchup, Edmonton was 28-18 and 4 and 60 points. Detroit was 21-18 and 8 and 50 points. Remember, I said Edmonton, and I win this game by a score of 5-2. At the end of 60 minutes, I get the win, 5-2. Yes, point Dirk. You remember on Sweet Life Battle or Jesse, uh, this West Chesterfield? She goes, Point Rhoda! Well, I go, Point Dirk! By the way, try Pepsi Zero, folks, because it's a great new taste. Really tastes a little different. It's very good. Zero sugar. Basically, you drink all the soda you want, not to go. All right, let's get into this. Shots on goal: Oilers 27, the Red Wings 32. Oilers had 30 saves with the Red Wings 22, and Edmonton was 1 for 4 on the power play with Detroit 0 for 5 on the power play. Big 2 points for Edmonton, and they get better and better. Next, Seattle at the Islanders. Entering the matchup, Seattle was 29, 15, and 9 and 63 points. The Islanders 26, 22, and 5 and 57 points. At the end of 60 minutes, Seattle loses by a score of 4-0. See? So you don't think I'm actually cheating or anything. I'm actually reading this off a sheet, folks. Which I typed up for myself on my computer. Or should I say my laptop. Shots on goal. The Islanders 28, the Kraken 32. And the Islanders had 32 saves, and the Kraken had 24 saves. Both teams were 0 for 1 on the power play. Well, the New York Islanders picked up a very important 2 points in this game, which they needed deeply. I mean, they needed them. Gotta make one little correction, folks. Alright, so now 2, 1, and 1. Let's get another win, can we? Next was the Vegas Golden Knights at Nashville. Entering the matchup, the Knights were 29, 18, and 6 and 62 points. Nashville was 24, 18, and 6 and 54 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Vegas Golden Knights win by a score of 5-1. Shots on goal, the Knights 30, the Predators 17. Knights had 16 saves, while the Preds had 25. Both teams were 0 for 2 on the power play. Big 2 points for the Knights. They are one of the teams to beat in the Western Conference, folks. But, folks, the season is going to heat up. Anything can happen, folks. You never know what can happen. And finally, Anaheim at Chicago. Entering this matchup, Anaheim was 16, 29, and 6 and 38 points. Chicago was 15, 29, and 4 and 34 points. This game had to go in an extra period, folks. And the final score was Anaheim Ducks 3, Chicago Blackhawks 2. Winner! 4, 1, and 1. Right. Go me. Go me. Go me. Shots on goal were 26 for the Ducks. Blackhawks 29. Ducks had 27 saves. The Blackhawks 23. Both teams were 0 for 2 on the power play. Important 2 points for the Ducks, while the Blackhawks stay at get a point, but they're still down in the Central. They're last place in the Central. All right, folks, I'm going to take a pause real fast, but I'll be right back, and we'll get to February 8th. Okay, I'm back. Here we go. Let's get into February 8th. Vancouver played the New York Rangers. Entering the matchup, Vancouver was 20, 26, and 4 and 44 points. New York was 28, 14, and 8 and 64 points. At the end of 60 minutes, the New York Rangers beat the Vancouver Canucks by a score of 4-3. Shots on goal, the Rangers got 21 with 21 shots. The Canucks 25. The Rangers had 22 saves with the Canucks 17. The New York Rangers were 0 for 3 on the power play with the Vancouver Canucks 0 for 1 on the power play. And a big 2 points for the Rangers on that day. Next was Minnesota at Dallas. Entered the match, Minnesota was 27-18-4 and 58 points. Dallas was 29-13-10 and 68 points at the end of 60 minutes. The Dallas Stars beat the Minnesota Wild by a score of 4-1. Shots on goal were the Stars 37, the Wild 39. Stars had 38 saves with the Wild 33. Dallas was 0 for 1 on the power play with Minnesota 1 for 3 on the power play. 2 points for Dallas. They now have 70 points for the season. But folks, their first place, Dallas is first place in the West, or should I say in the Central, which is the same division as my Blues. Folks, like I keep saying, anything can happen. You never know what can happen. And you will be surprised on who will win. Now I'm going to take an hour break real fast, but when I come back, we're going to get into February 9th. Okay, we're back. You notice what I did, right? First you saw me wear the Pittsburgh jersey. Then you saw me have it off, and I had my shirt on. Then I can't, stop real fast, and I put on this jersey. So now you see why I took a break or paused the video. So if you see the interruptions, see me come back, guess what? Changing jersey. Okay. 7 games on the dog last night. So here we go. First game was the Colorado Avalanche at the Tampa Bay Lightning. Entering the match, Colorado was 27-18-4 and 58 points. Tampa was 32-16-2 and 66 points at the end of 60 minutes. The final score was Lightning 5, the Avalanche 0. Yes! I like it when they lose. I love it when Colorado loses. Take that, Cronky! Yeah, I'm talking to you, Enos Cronky. Yeah, I'm not calling you Stan. I'm calling you by your real name, Enos. And by the way, you don't deserve that name. But that's another topic. That's a DTV. That's a layer DTV. Shots on goal were the Lightning 32, the Avs 30. Lightning had 30 saves, the Avs 27. Tampa Bay was 2 for 3 on the power play with Colorado 0 for 2 on the power play. 2 points for the Lightning. They're up to 68 points. Let's see if things can improve. Next was Edmonton at Philadelphia. Entering the matchup, Edmonton was 29-18-4 and 62 points. Philly was 21-22-9, 51 points. Folks, this had to go into overtime. There was no score in overtime. So when that happens, it goes into a shootout. That is right, folks. A shootout. And the results of that shootout, it went 3 rounds for both teams. The results were Edmonton went 1 for 3, Philadelphia 2 for 3. They get the point, and they win by a score of 2-1. Now, folks, when I give you these stats, these were the stats after overtime. So the shootout goals don't count towards that. A little piece of, fine. See, there's again. All right, here we go. Shots on goal were 36 for the Flyers, the Oilers 35. Flyers had 34 saves. Edmonton, the Oilers had 35. Philadelphia went over 3 on the power play, while the Oilers did not have a power play. The Flyers did not go into the penalty box. They stayed out of the sin bin. So despite the point that Edmonton gets, Philadelphia picks up the 2. But, it's a long, season's long, folks, so anything can happen. Next, San Jose at Florida. San Jose entering the matchup with 16, 25, and 11, 43 points. Florida was 25, 22, and 9, and 56 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the final score was 4-1. Shots on goal were 42 for the Panthers, the Sharks 34. The Panthers had 33 saves with the Sharks 38 saves. Florida was 0 for 1 on the power play with San Jose 0 for 3 on the power play. 26 win for the Panthers after the All-Star break. But folks, like I keep saying, the season's long. Anything can happen still. So you never know what can happen. The Panthers could just fall down to the bottom and now you make the playoffs. We'll wait and see. Next, it was Seattle and New Jersey. Entering the matchup, Seattle was 29-16 and 5 and 63 points. New Jersey 33, 13 and 4 and 70 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the New Jersey Devils beat the Seattle Kraken by a score of 3-1. Shots on goal were the Devils 27, the Kraken at 34. The Devils had 33 saves with the Kraken 24. New Jersey was 2 for 4 on the power play with Seattle over 3 on the power play. 34th win for the Devils. They're one of the teams to beat in the East, folks. And by the way, folks, next week or next Thursday, I'm going to be at the Blues game. And let me tell you something, folks. We got to beat the Devils. But with this loss, this also bumps Seattle from first down to second. But folks, Seattle's an expansion team, and they're doing great in their second season. So let's see what can happen. Next was Calgary at Detroit. Entering the matchup, Calgary was 24, 17, and 10 and 58 points. Detroit was 21, 20, and 8 and 50 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Detroit Red Wings beat the Calgary Flames by a score of 2-1. Shots on goal were the Red Wings 17, the Flames 36. The Red Wings had 35, Calgary, the Flames 15. Detroit was 1 for 5 on the power play with Calgary 0 for 3 on the power play. 22nd win for Detroit. They're creeping up in the Atlantic. Anything can happen, folks. Next was Vancouver at the New York Islanders. Entering the matchup, Vancouver was 27 and 4 and 46 points. The New York Islanders 27, 22, 5 and 59 points. At the end of 60 minutes, the Vancouver Canucks beat the New York Islanders by a score 6-5. 6-5, folks. Entering the matchup. Shots on goal were the Canucks 34, the Islanders 29. Saves, the Canucks 24, the Islanders 28. Vancouver was 2 for 4 in the power play with the New York Islanders 2 for 3. 21st win for the Canucks, while the Islanders are now at 23 losses. Oh boy. And finally, the Vegas Golden Knights at the Minnesota Wild entering the matchup. The Knights were 30, 18, and 4 and 64 points. The Wild 27, 19, and 4 and 58 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Minnesota Wild by a score of 5-1. The Knights had 31 shots on goal with the Wild 28. 27 saves for the Knights. And the Wild 26. 0 for 1 on the power play was Vegas, and Minnesota was 1 for 2 on the power play. 66 point for the for the Knights. The 31st win. They're one of the teams to be in the West, folks, so you better watch out. So that does it for now. I'm going to take one last quick break. We got 4 games tonight. I'll give you my picks, where to watch them, and we'll get right into that, and I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. We are now ready for today's games. Now remember, I give you what's going into this matchup, who I think will win, and also where can you watch these games? You know, a lot of people are like, "Hey, Dirk, where can I watch these games at if my favorite team's playing?" I'll tell you. Here we go. Starting off with Seattle at the Rangers. Going into sorry. Currently, Seattle is 29-17 and 5 and 63 points. The Rangers are 29-14 and 8 and 63 points. I'm going to Seattle. I think Seattle has a good chance of winning. You can watch this game on the NHL Network. So if you've got NHL Network, watch it. Sportsnet, MSG Sportsnet, and Root Sports Northwest. By the way, that's 7 o'clock Eastern. Also 7 o'clock Eastern is Toronto and Columbus. Currently, the Toronto Maple Leafs are 31, 13, and 8, and 70 points. Columbus is 15, 32, and 4, and 34 points. I'm going Toronto. Because I think Toronto got a good chance of winning this game. And you can watch this on TVA Sports, Bally Sports Ohio, and TSN4. At 8:30 Eastern, it's Arizona at Chicago. Two division rivals. Entering this matchup, Arizona is 17-28 and 6 and 40 points. Chicago is 15-29 and 5 and 35 points. Both of these teams in the division, but I want to say this. I do not root for Chicago. I never will, and I never have, never will. Okay? So I'm picking Arizona for this game. And folks, I'm telling you this. I really hope Chicago gets their butts kicked tonight by the Coyotes. Okay, I might live in Illinois, folks. Now for my new subscribers too. I live in Illinois, okay, but I'm closer to St. Louis. I see the St. Louis stations here. I root for the Blues, and I will always root for the Blues till my dying breath. I will not betray the Blues. The reason why you see me wear our team jerseys is because I get them for the YouTube videos, man. That's why I get them. Okay? Now you know. And finally, the Pittsburgh Penguins at the Anaheim Ducks. Oh, first off, I gotta tell you where to watch the Arizona Chicago game. You can watch this on NBC Sports Chicago and Bally Sports Extra. First off, NBC Sports Chicago. And I know what you guys are saying. Dirk, did NBC get rid of their sports station? Yes, they did. But they got substations all around the U.S. They got one in Chicago. They got one in Philadelphia. They got one in the Boston area. They got one in the California area. They got one in Houston. You know, it's called, and they got one in D.C., Washington, and it's called NBC Sports. So originally known as Comcast Sports, and since NBC Universal bought Comcast, so I figure right. All right. Pittsburgh at Anaheim this nightcap at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Currently, the Pittsburgh Penguins are 25, 16, and 9 and 59 points. Anaheim Ducks are 17, 29, and 6 and 40 points. I'm going Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh got a very good chance of winning. So that's what I'm going with. And you can watch this game on Sportsnet, which is a station up in Canada. TVA Sports, which is also up in Canada. Bally Sports West, and AT&T Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Now, AT&T Sportsnet is basically Root Sports under a new name. AT&T basically bought Root Sports, and the rest is history. So, but only one Root Sport is still called Root Sport, and that's up in Seattle. But all the others are called AT&T Sports. Alright, well that'll do it, folks. I'll see you later tonight for the post game. I'm gonna get out tonight, but I will get a post game report in tonight. I promise you. There's only 4 games. It won't take me long to get these sheets done. So as always, folks, stay safe, take care. Remember the Lord's watching it, and I'll see you guys later tonight for the post game. So until then, Dirk saying, peace.